Hello everyone, back to today's second video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. That's going to take us to around the 17th of July, day 10. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. They run to around a couple of weeks. However, we've got the CFSB2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, takes us into the beginning of August. Talking of the beginning of August, we've released the ECMWF 30-day look ahead today for the UK and the rest of Europe as well. That's taking us just to the start of August as well. So it looks like we're going to have some warm weather next week. Summer coming back next week, and we will cover that in today's video update as well, in this video update. But after that, maybe go a little bit more unsettled again later on in July. Have a look at the ECMWF 30-day look ahead, see what's going on there. We will look at the week 5 and week 6 temperature and rainfall anomalies from the ECM in tomorrow's live stream at 6 o'clock. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to say a big thank you to our latest donor. So we've had a donation through PayPal from Mike Evershed. Thank you so much, Mike Evershed, for becoming a donor for GavsWeatherVids. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Mike, for doing that. If you'd like to give a donation to GavsWeatherVids, all you need to do is come to the GavsWeatherVids PayPal.me page and sign into your PayPal account and give whatever donation you would like to GavsWeatherVids. You can also become a patron for GavsWeatherVids by going to our Patreon page, and you can also become a channel member for GavsWeatherVids too at YouTube. So if you'd like to do any of those things, the links to the Patreon page, YouTube channel, and also the PayPal page are in the description with videos at YouTube, and also on all pages at GavsWeatherVids.com. Thank you so much to all of you for your support over these past few weeks and months. And special thank you to Mike Evershed for the latest donation. Thank you so much, Mike, for doing that. Right, let's start the video then, and we're going to begin by having a look at this disturbance area that's sitting in the southeast part of America. So we've got this yellow X just here across northern parts of Georgia. That's disturbance 1 with a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours and a 40% chance in the next 5 days. National Hurricane Center are saying an area of low pressure located inland over northeastern Georgia is producing a large area of showers and heavy rain over portions of southeastern US. Below is expected to move generally northeastward toward the coast of Carolinas and mid-Atlantic states, and some development of this system is possible later this week if it moves over the warm waters of the Atlantic Ocean. Regardless of development, the low is forecast to produce locally heavy heavy rainfall that could cause flash flooding across portions of the southeast US during the next couple of days. A 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 days, and a 40% chance in the next 5 days. So that will need to be kept an eye on in the next few days. Coming back to home, well, it's wet and cool across many parts of England and Wales today. So this is the latest radar from GavsWeatherVids, and yeah, you can see the rain is piling in from off the Atlantic into Ireland, through the Irish Sea to Wales, much of the North and West Midlands, and increasing now pushing into some eastern parts of England. It is mainly dry in the south at the moment. This rain will be easing southwards during the course of the afternoon. To the north of it, we've got showers. It's notably cool with this rain as well. In fact, it does feel rather autumnal. These are our latest temperature observations from xcweather.co.uk. You can see that we have just about clawed our way up to 21 in the southeastern corner, so 21 at Headcorn Aerodrome and 21 at London City Airport as well, and also just here in the southwest Exeter is up to 21 degrees. However, we don't have to go much further north and it gets a lot cooler. Only 17 at Bedford. Churchill Orford in the Midlands is at just 16. Nottingham at 14 and pouring with rain. Leek Thorncliffe, it's at just 10 degrees at Leek on 2:08 or 8 minutes past 2 on the 7th of July. That's absolutely atrocious. Into Wales, Rhyl is at just 13 degrees. These are really bad temperatures indeed. Sennybridge at 13. Leeds is at 13 as well. Going further north, we've got Reddersdale Camp, not registering yet. Carlisle is at 12, and so on. So really, really bad temperatures. Belfast at 13, up to Scotland only 13. Aviemore, and 12 at Loch Glascarnock. I mean, these are really bad temperatures away from the southeast corner where we're not too far from the early July maximum temperature average. In most parts of the country, it's a very, very cool afternoon for early July, well below average, and of course where it's pouring with rain through parts of Wales and Midlands and southern parts of northern England in particular, does feel very, very autumnal indeed. So not a great afternoon, but as I said at the start of the video, it does look as though summer is on the way back next week, so summer could be about to strike back. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks from Old Wetter Central. So the red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average, and we're starting above average, we're starting below average, slightly below average at the moment, but they're going to go a little bit above average in the next couple of days, and then dropping away again as we go through the end of the week and into the weekend. But next week there is a warming trend. Temperatures going to be lifting up through next week, and they are going to start getting a lot warmer into next week with both the upper air temperatures and the surface temperatures. We are going to see a little bit of temperature. At the same time, so we have got some rain coming up for the next couple of days, definitely. But after that, from the end of week over weekend into next week, quite an extended run of dry weather. Just very late on, we start to get some rainfall spikes beginning to appear then. But overall, that's a pretty dry ensemble, and certainly next week we do see temperatures lifting up. Temperature anomalies from the 7th to the 15th of July are going to be below average. It's going to be a cooler than average week coming up. Precipitation anomalies, drier, slightly drier than average in the far north and in the far south-southwest, in between a little bit wetter than average. We should trend drier once we get to around Friday, get the next couple of days out of the way. This is how things are looking in terms of the winds and also jet streams from earthnullschool.net. So you can see that we are bringing in a westerly flow today. We're bringing westerlies from off the Atlantic. There is also a trailing weather front that's through here, and it does actually connect back to the remains of a ex-tropical storm just there. So that remains of that particular tropical storm getting caught up in the areas of low pressure and the trailing weather front that goes a long way back into the Atlantic through there. And that will bring pulses of rain, particularly to parts of England and Wales, during the next couple of days, before it all clears away to the east on Friday, and then we'll start to get a little bit of high pressure ridging up. But yeah, really Atlantic-driven type weather pattern we're in at the moment. This is how the UK Met Office model is looking for Friday. So on Friday, we're finally getting rid of that trailing weather front and its last sort of area of low pressure. That will be going off into Germany, and then we're going to be watching a ridge building in the Atlantic. So as we get through Saturday into Sunday and on to Monday, high pressure increasingly takes over across the country, turning mostly dry and increasingly warm. Temperatures will be lifting up. This is GFS 6Z. So again, we find low pressure clearing away to our east on Friday, taking the last of the rain with it, and then into the weekend we'll find high pressure building in from off the Atlantic, turning us increasingly dry and quite warm as well through the weekend. And then on into next week, we keep that ridge going. A little bit of a disturbance coming into the north around Tuesday, just some showery rain then, but very quickly the ridge re-establishes. So through the second half of next week, turning mostly dry and very warm too. High pressure really taking over with the 6 o'clock run of the GFS next week. Summer strikes back. Summer is well and truly back in business next week. Other air temperatures, look at that as we go into the weekend of the 18th, 19th of July, becoming very warm. I think that could easily lift temperatures into the upper 20s Celsius across more southern, southeastern parts of the country, back into the 80s Fahrenheit there. Right at the very end of this GFS run, it does start to cooler and more unsettled from the west again, but it's a really long way out, and I wouldn't take it overly seriously. It's only around, it's around 2 weeks away, so it's a very, very long way out indeed. GEM shows low pressure exiting away to the east east on Friday, taking all of the rain with it. Then the ridge building up from the southwest as we go through the weekend, turning us mostly dry and quite warm. That ridge is one truly in control through the early part of next week, particularly warm down in the south. Then it starts to turn a bit more unsettled with the GM, though, through the middle part of next week. Low pressure begins to move in from off the Atlantic, and by day 10, Friday 17th of July, we are all unsettled with the GM. So only a couple of fine days with the GM next week on Monday and Tuesday, and then as early as Wednesday, we're beginning to break that ridge down. Let's see what the ECM has to say. So again, on Friday, the low clears away into the North Sea. High pressure then starts to ridge in from the west. That high pressure increasingly takes over during the weekend, turning us mainly dry and quite warm too. Into next week, the high pressure is well and truly in control as well through the early part of next week. No early breakdown of the ridge with the ECM as the GEM is doing. So the EC midnight run keeps that high pressure dominating throughout most of next week actually, and does start to bring up a really very warm or possibly in quite hot southeasterly wind into the second half of next week. Notice how the high pressure is sitting off the east coast of Scotland, drawing up this southeasterly. And there's the upper air temperatures showing we have got some really impressively hot air across France that could well start to get pulled up on those southeast winds if they last long enough. By day 10, which is the 17th of July, it possibly just hints at going a bit thundery. That's because of the heat and humidity over France, possibly just generating a little bit of a thundery low. But that's 10 days away, and certainly most of next week is looking dry and potentially very warm, or possibly by the end of next week, quite hot down in the southeast. This is the rainfall forecast based on that ECM run from Temeteo.com. So we have a lot of rain piling in from off the Atlantic, particularly through England and Wales during the next couple of days. Pulses of rain pushing from west to east. It will dry at times, and then another pulse of rain will move through. This one coming through late tomorrow is going to be, or have partly anyway, the remains of that tropical storm with it, and just producing quite a lot of cold, wet weather, really, or cool, wet weather through the course of tomorrow. By Thursday into Friday, we finally get rid of all of that. All moves away to the east, and things begin to dry out. Some heavy showers in the east on Friday, but things will dry out towards the end of the week. Over weekend, the high pressure takes over, and into next week, the emphasis is on dry weather, and we've already established it will turn increasingly warm through next week as well as high pressure turns it dry. So summer well and truly back in business through the course of next week with the ECM midnight run. Just a suggestion by the very end, this is as far as we can get to 240 hours out, day 10. Just a suggestion of one or two thunderstorms beginning to break out over the continent. Not yet making it into the UK, but just does possibly hint at a thundery breakdown by day 10. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 by the Icelandic Met Office. This gets us to the 17th of July. We have 18 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure sitting pretty much over top of the country. That could be lots of dry and warm weather with it. 14 with low pressure up to the north. That's going to bring in like a westerly flow. So that's like in line with the GEM, I suppose, that option. These 14 here are going in the same direction as the GEM, which is unsettled by day 10. Another 11 just here, or 11 just here, with high pressure over country and up to the northeast. That's going to be mainly dry, potentially very warm as well. And then 8 down here have the high pressure centred right over top of the country. So day 10, these ensembles are very much favouring high pressure to bring warm and dry weather, or to keep warm and dry weather going. We've got 18 just there, we've got another 11 there, and we've got 8 down here that are all anticyclonic to varying degrees and in various positions, but they are all in the same sort of going in the same direction, which is dry and very warm weather continuing up to day 10. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This gets us to the 22nd of July. 20 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure out to our west. Going to be mainly dry of that. The Atlantic's blocked off, but could be a little bit on the cooler side. 13 with high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north. That's probably bringing in slightly more unsettled westerly flow. 10 with low pressure to our north-northeast. That's going to be the coolest and most unsettled option. And then 8 with high pressure to the north, and possibly hinting at some sort of a trough around here that could threaten some quite heavy showers to the southwest. So possibly signs of the fine weather breaking down in 2 weeks' time, but certainly up to date, and most of next week looks mainly dry and pretty warm with the ECM and its ensembles today. Finally, the CFS V2, so these are 500 millibar heights broken down into weekly periods. The first weekly period takes us from the 7th to the 13th of July. The coming week has above average heights to our west and southwest, below average heights to our north and northeast. This high pressure is increasingly moving in from the south and the west, settling things down over time. Not till weekend does it properly start to settle though. Week 2 is the 14th to the 20th of July. The high pressure end is over top of the country. That's going to be dry, fine summer, well and truly back in business there through the middle part of July. And the CFS has been signalling this very consistently over the past couple of weeks that mid-July would see a return of summer. Looks like it's probably going to come off, although bear in mind the GEM only has that ridge lasting for a couple of days next week and then breaks it down. But I think if we take the GFS and the ECM together, as well as the GFS ensembles and the ECM ensembles, we probably do favour several days of dry and warm weather next week. So probably it's going to be quite a good forecast from the CFS for mid-July. Week 3 is the 21st to 27th of July. The high pressure then goes north up to Greenland. Trough of low pressure sets up over Scandinavia. That's starting to turn things cooler and potentially a little bit more unsettled as well. And then week 4 is going to be the 28th of July to the 3rd of August, with low pressure then to the north of Scotland into Scandinavia. Winds are in from the west. So yes, that one obviously is breaking down the fine weather, turning things much more unsettled and cooler for the beginning of August. And today's ECM 30-day look ahead was going for that kind of thing as well, I think. So yeah, that's how it's looking today, though. So Eternal summer is back next week. If you like your summer weather cool and damp, then enjoy the next few days. If you like it warm and dry, I mean, you've only got to get to the weekend and next week, and warm, dry weather will be back with you. How long it lasts? Probably like 5 days, maybe if we're lucky 7, but it does look as though we will go back to cooler and more unsettled conditions later on to the second half of July at the moment, but of course we shall see about that. It's beyond 10 days out, so have to wait and see how that plays out. Right, that's it for today's video update. Tomorrow we're going to have the 5-day forecast, and we'll have a 10 to 14 day video update for you as well. At 6 o'clock tomorrow night we will be live streaming on YouTube and across all of GavsWeatherVids platforms. Don't forget to give us a like on the video. Let us know in the comments what you think. If you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, then please can you subscribe to our channel. And yeah, we shall see you tomorrow. But for today's videos, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.